What's up, y'all? We're back. Another episode of the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast. I'm your host, Graham Powell. The cheeseburger on this screen, I think there's cheese on this, maybe a hamburger. I don't know. But you can see the bun. That's Michelle Zangulis on the other. Tell us what you are, Michelle.
I'm an alien.
All right. Well, Michelle is a purple haired alien with lipstick and antennas. All right. So before we get started, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor. The Tough Runs Don't Last podcast is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, 10K, half marathon, a marathon, and the one of a kind Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience, track it with your fitness app of choice, screenshot your results as proof of completion. Submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com under the submit results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your award will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series. And you can find us, Tough Runs Don't Last podcast, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give us a like while you're there. Follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at TR Don't Last. Okay. So a couple weeks ago was our last show, right? A couple weekends ago.
Yep.
All right. I've done 2 races since then. The first of which was last Sunday in beautiful Fayetteville, Arkansas. I paced the Spooky Sprint half marathon, and I'm rocking the medal for that. Get around my microphone here. This is my Beetlejuice medal with the sandworms around it and everything. Googly eyes, you can't really tell from there. I'd hold it closer, but it's around my neck at this point. But pretty spot on Beetlejuice medal, I would say.
Yeah.
Pretty cool ribbon too. I dig it. Um, yeah, fun race. I was the 210 pace group, came in 209.10 and 10.5 was my chip time, official chip time. So and pacing another race next weekend in Conway, Arkansas. City of College's half marathon. I'll be the 220 pacer there. But yesterday had probably my best performance in any race ever. Did the Arkansas 20K in your hood, Benton, literally, well, just not far from your place. And yeah, very hilly race. Um, yeah, lots of hills, very challenging in that regard, but also fun. Uh, Depending on which runner you asked, I enjoyed the challenge. Uh, it was tough going up a lot of those hills. There, the hardest was a one-way street where you're just doing this, and I ran it. Like I ran the whole thing, of course, but if you watch the playback, it probably just looks like a power walk. I mean, it was quite the hill. The good thing about it, you get up the hill and you do get rewarded with the downhill usually. So there's some give and take there, but I would rather just stay like this if possible. But it was a good race, fun race. It was a Grand Prix state championship race. That was number 18 of 20 as far as Grand Prix races for 2024 goes. So we are almost there. Just 2 more to go in the 2024 season. And yeah, it was a good showing. Sorry, my dog is hacking in the background. It's a little bit distracting. But I finished up, like finished strong, did a cool down after, went and got Italian ice. They had an Italian ice truck trailer thing there. And it's the best dessert I've ever had as far as something like that goes. Beats the beats the heck out of your classic snow cone. First time I'd ever had it. Same truck was there at the Arkansas 2 mile or the Benton 2 miler over the summer, but that was a packed race, and the line was so long at that point that I had to go to Hot Springs after. I was like, no, I can't stick around for that. I got to go. But I was one of the first ones to be able to get this. I did, got the pina colada flavor, loved it, and yeah, only good things. You've had it before. Your thoughts?
I really like Italian ice. Um, I I'm like a big texture person and I like the texture of it a lot more than I love snow cones though, but I do like it more than a snow cone. It's very delicious.
Well, it's not too sweet, but it's sweet and it's creamier than a snow
Yes.
cone. and that's what I loved about it. I could have eaten another one after that one, but running a tough race, which was 12.4 ish miles at 20K, whatever that is, and then going and getting that after just hits different. It's like hitting a Gatorade after a long hot run or something like that. It was very refreshing, very awesome. And they all looked good. Everybody got like different flavors. I rocked the pina colada. It lacked color, but not flavor. So shout out to them, whatever truck it was. You looked it up, didn't you?
I did. I don't remember though.
We had a few things happen between now and then.
A lot has happened between now and then.
Yeah,
Um,
since Michelle was close to the race, I dropped my dog off there and we hung out basically the rest of the day after that. Ate dope Mexican food and you made some soup that was pretty bomb.
yeah,
Tortellini soup,
yeah.
which I'm gonna have that later today. All right, you're looking it up. Have a name update.
So there's two options. So there is an Italian ice place in like the Benton Bryant area that's called Happy Scoops Italian Ice. But then there is a pure mobile Italian ice cream truck serving the Little Rock and surrounding area called Disadodo Italian Ice.
All right, so Michelle butchered that name, so sorry to them, whatever their name is. I assume that's not how you actually say the name.
I assume as well. There's a
You have to say it
lot
with a stutter. That's fine.
there's a lot of A's and a lot of T's.
Okay. All right. Words are hard, everyone.
They really are.
Okay. Well, anyway, Italian ice is awesome. That's the moral of the story. The other thing, I had never placed in a Grand Prix race as far as age group or anything like that. That was one thing about Grand Prix, excuse me, pre races. I could finish up, and I was always anywhere between like 5 and 10 or something in my age group. So I just bounced while everybody was waiting an hour and a half for the awards. But I got one of those awards yesterday. I was can't even don't even see it.
Second
Second in the age
place.
group. Yeah, in the 40 to 44 male group. Got a second place plaque. So pretty cool. These are the things I was telling you about. The keyholes on the back.
Yeah.
It was like you can't put it. There's no way you can put two in there like that. So it's
No.
just you hang it this way or this way.
Yes.
Yeah, and I am going to actually hang that up. I'd like to start actually hanging these up. I do have like a whole plastic bin of them. I'm just going to leave those there though where they are. But this one, it's like, yeah, let's hang it up. It was very. I worked hard for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hang it up and enjoy it.
As you should.
Yeah, so yeah, Graham got second in his age group in a
Wow.
Grand Prix race.
I like that
Again,
you
that's
referred to yourself in third person there.
what I do sometimes. But it wasn't as packed as I thought it would be. It wasn't your typical Grand Prix race number of contestants where it's anywhere between 400 and 500 people. It just looked like, uh, I don't know, 150 or so, maybe 200. I mean, you saw the video. That's what it was. We did have some early start people. We had a lot of
Yeah.
early start people. So you got to include them, but wasn't as many people as I thought. But it's also the 18th. That was the 18th race in the 20 race season.
Yeah.
And how the Grand Prix works, and I really didn't understand this till recently. I told you a little bit about it yesterday. They only count your highest, your top five non-championship races and your top five state championship races. And there's like an even number of championship and non-championship races. That's all they count as far as your points go. So almost everyone has enough to qualify for both. So at that point, like one of our fastest guys, he called it a season after the pumpkin run. I told you about that. He was like, "All
Mhm.
right, well, it's been a long but good 3 years of the Grand Prix. Time to go do something else." So I understand that. But me, I'm going for the Iron Award. I want that second plaque at the award ceremony next February. So I'm going for that. So I'm going to be doing all of them. Plus, this is the only time I'm not doing the Grand Prix next year. I don't know if I've officially said that on this show, but I'm not. It's a lot of time, effort, and commitment and money. It's really not that expensive except for the last race, but it's yeah, it's a lot of time, money, and effort that I don't think I can duplicate. At least don't want to next year. So as far as next year goes, I'm going to be doing other things as well. But for this one time, I'm the first time I've done it, and maybe last. Um, for sure, as far as next year goes, not doing it. I want to go all in, do all 20, get the full experience, and yeah, be able to walk away from it saying, I did that. So that's what I'm doing. But two to go. Next one's a Spa 10K in Hot Springs, November 16th. But before then, I've got a couple of races. Saturday, this coming Saturday, 6 days, pacing the City of College's half marathon. Will be in the 220 group, so it's going to be a very easy run for me. It's toga. They want you to wear your pacing shirt, but it's like a toga theme, so you can wear a toga if you want. I probably won't.
Okay.
Haven't put together a toga since college, so I don't think I remember how to do that. Although, don't know that we knew how to do it. It seemed pretty simple, just a
Yeah.
sheet and wrap it around you and then throw it over your shoulder. It's not that complicated. But I don't think I want to run in a toga. I think I'll just, and it's 2 days after Halloween at that point. So this is my Halloween costume. I'm rocking. Probably just be rocking the pace shirt.
I feel like that's a good plan.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so what all do you have going on, Michelle, besides making soup and dressing up as an alien and then um, doing papers for law school and stuff?
Yeah, I am just working on my paper today and really all week. And then I guess I'm gonna have to really start thinking about finals because finals are in just over a month. Classes end in 3.5 weeks, and then we've got Thanksgiving and finals. So
So when's the next time you plan to do any kind of race? Because our last episode, I believe you were the most active of the two of us in a 2 week span.
I
Uh,
was, but that's not gonna happen very often, if ever again.
that's
Uh,
why I pointed it out because it's noteworthy.
Um, yeah, so I don't know. My friends from law school, we're still trying to decide if we're going to do any of the Little Rock Marathon weekend races. Um, we might do that 5K, but unsure. That's the next thing on the list, if we even do that.
Well, I told you the other news regarding the Little Rock Marathon this morning. I mean, you knew prior to that, but I am officially in the pace group for the Little Rock Marathon,
Yeah.
the full 26.2. I've run that race 6 times. I think I've run like the Little Rock Marathon. I think I've got 6 medals, 6 massive dinner plate size medals, which I love. The Little Rock Marathon medals are always my favorite. And yeah, I am officially a pacer. I'm a floater, but it's basically how that works. I got stuck in that, I'm in that 5 to 6 hour group. And basically, I will hang out. It's my understanding. I'll do a little more research prior to that, but I'll hang out with the 5 hour group. And if anybody's not feeling well, or, they can bow out before the race between now and March, whether it's illness, injury is the big thing. Pacers also tap out on during the race. I've seen a couple of years ago, ran with a 5 hour group, and one of the Pacers, his toe was hurting him, so he bowed out after like 14 miles or something like that. And he'd done over 100 marathons and all that, so it wasn't like he was an inexperienced pacer. It's just this stuff can happen. Last year, the guy in the 440 group, he kept going to the bathroom, so he kept dropping off. that's when I started out with the 5 hour group, and I was like, I'm faster than this. And I just kept going. I was dealing with a groin issue at the time, so I went very slow at the start of that, and then I was like, okay, I feel good, so I just kept going. So basically, how it'll work is I'll hang out with the 5 hour group, and if everybody miraculously is feeling good and is there, if somebody needs to bow out, I'll take over for them between that 5 and 6 hour group or groups. And yeah, or just go with my preference if, like I said, if everybody is there. And if that's the case, I'll stick with the 5 hour group because I know both pacers, both are in my run club. So probably do that. But it should be fun. I know like at least a third of the pacers, I think. I saw the list. I was like, okay, I know quite a bit of these people. So should be a lot of fun. I think I can even hang out at the expo like there too. We'll see what happens. But my dog is licking his leg right now, right in front of me, and it's annoying me and it's very distracting. So he is rubbing it in my face unknowingly. He finally stopped after about 5 straight minutes of licking his leg. So I'm gonna have to get that spray that you talked about that just deters it because nothing I'm using works.
I was gonna say he did stop licking for a little while last night, so I don't know if he continued, but it did seem to work in the moment at least.
It didn't work then. He went 5 full minutes of like he's laying down now because he went 5 full minutes of just licking his leg, and there's nothing I can do about it because I'm sitting
And he's
here.
deaf.
So yeah, he has done nothing but misbehaved since I clicked record. So it's a little bit distracting, but it's okay. He's 14 and 11. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna hang my plaque up at some point if I end up not having to go to Conway today for not pacing. I might have to go move some furniture. I don't know yet. But I will be back at it Wednesday probably. By the way, that yesterday was okay, it was a 20K, but I did a cool down after that, a 1 mile cool down after that. So I'm officially, and that was within that 3 hour time frame. So I am 7 of 10 half marathons completed for the Rhino Ultra. So it's gonna happen. And the only other like I only have to do one half marathon training run between now and my deadline to do that, to complete it. Because I got the City of College's half, I got the back trail 40 trail race, first ever trail race that I've done that I'm ever going to do is November 9th. So with just that or City of Colleges and that, just need one training run to complete it by November 20th. So it's going to happen. It is going to happen. I may attempt that half Wednesday, depends on if I get off early enough, because I don't want to run in the dark if I don't have to. That's the 2 times I've fallen during this have been during that when it was dark and just couldn't see well enough, was tired, fatigued. The first one was, but I've fallen great both times. Both times, one thing about football, I know how to fall. So I did a good roll, got up, just had minor scrape. Didn't have any scrapes the first time because I fell in grass. Second time on the sidewalk, but yeah, I just had a minor scrape on my hand, my palm, and a little small one on my knee. So no big deal. Uh, didn't run on the streets because you know why they make sidewalks, right? Because the streets ain't for everybody.
You sent that to me.
Yeah, you're welcome. I feel like I'm made for the streets though, but not at night when cars are out and they don't see a guy running. My friend Haley got me these like reflector things where it lights up on you put it on the back of your shoes
Mm-hmm.
and it lights up as you run. And I just haven't used them. I don't know how I feel about putting something on my shoe like that.
I feel like you need like they basically make like suspenders,
The best.
but it's just the strap. So it's not like a real vest, but it has a light in the front and a light in the back so that people can see you either direction. I feel like that would be more what you need than something for your shoes.
Either one works. I think you just need to see. I'm very alert of I'm very aware of what's going on around me when I'm running, even in the daylight. But especially at night, because one thing you learn early as a driver is defensive driving. You don't trust everybody to do what they're supposed to do on the road, and that's how I am running when people are driving. If I go to the other side of the road if a car is coming, and I can, there's not another one coming from the other direction. I'm always very aware of what's going on around me. I do not run with earphones or anything like that with music because I need to hear everything going on around me. You don't need to be running on the road day, morning, night, ever with music in your ear or earphones. You don't need anything like that. You need to know everything that's going on around you. Road races like what I do regularly, what you've done, they ban earphones, even at a big race like the Little Rock Marathon, because you need to hear everything going on around you. Even if it's not traffic, you need to hear other runners behind you, etc. Because if you move and you're in the way of somebody, I mean, you could get trampled. So there's a reason you don't run with that stuff. If you're on the treadmill and want it, fine. I've tried that before. It's annoying after 2 songs. The only time I like music in my ears, like the first 2 tracks, or if it would be like the very end of a race. That would be the only time I enjoyed it, just to get that little jolt there at the end. But yeah, we've got we're almost at the end of the year, but I've still got plenty left to do. But I'm excited about it. It's been a long year, but a fun year. And I'm kind of glad yesterday happened and went as well as it did because this last week was the first time I felt burned out. And it was like the last 2 runs, the Thursday night run I did, which was 4.3 miles. I was very tired. It had been a long week at work. Um, that was the first week or time really I felt burned out this year. Now race day is always different. I never get up and like, I'd rather lay in bed. It's not that. It's the training. It's the training leading up to it where you just like, I don't feel like it. If I do this, because basically when I go train, that's a 2-hour delay of when I can get to bed. Because my run is about 40 minutes. Then I got to shower. It just turns into 2 hours. It always does. A 2-hour delay. Thursday, I didn't get to run till close to 9 o'clock. So I'm already like, I wasn't going to not do it because I'm like, I got 3 Grand Prix races left. I want to be as prepared as I can be. I'm going to get this training run in. But I really wasn't feeling it. But when I got done, even when I got done and showered and all that, I had to cook dinner. I had to do it in the dark because my kitchen lights aren't working right now. Hopefully they'll get fixed tomorrow. Hopefully. So I was in there with a candle and a flashlight, browning some ground beef and cooking some rice. And really I could have used a day of, I need to get right home and cook while I still got some daylight, and then just get wind down, get ready for bed. Watch Thursday night football, something like that. But after yesterday, I mean, it just made all that worth it. It did. It made all of it worth it, and really kind of re-energized me. And I thought that after when I was leaving, like going to your place after, I thought that was like the boost I needed, the jolt I needed to finish this year strong. So I guess the moral of the story, it's not easy. It's going to be hard, especially during those training runs. It's hard to motivate yourself to get up and go. But if you do it, you'll thank yourself later, because I was very prepared for yesterday and I could tell. And that's why I finished as strong as I did. And I want to do the same for these last 2 Grand Prix races and be as prepared as I can be for pacing and the back 40 trail run in between. So yeah, I'm on the right track. Just gotta keep going. And you all do the same, whether it's running, life, etc. Michelle with her paper in law school, you can apply that to anything.
Unfortunately, yes. But that's okay. I think it's good advice.
I think so too. That's why I said it. Okay, so we have, of course, Halloween is Thursday, right?
Yes.
Okay. What are your plans for Halloween, Michelle, if any?
I have school.
Rock on. I have work and it's my long day of work. And but I it's the race is in Conway. The city of colleges happens in Conway. It's a 40-minute drive for me. I basically consider that a local race. It's closer than driving to yesterday's race. So that's not an issue for me. I don't have to get out of work early Friday or anything like that. So it should be a relatively relaxing week for me. Knock on some wood there. We'll see how that goes. Um, but I'm going to make it a point to watch horror flicks or Thursday night football. We'll see. Probably slashers, depending on how good the Thursday night football game is. I haven't checked yet. You did see The Shining yesterday.
Yes, I did.
First time you ever saw that. What are your thoughts on it?
It was interesting. It's not really what I thought. Um,
Yeah, what did you think you were getting into?
I don't know. I guess I didn't realize that it was like um a family type thing. I guess I thought it was like random guests. I knew it was the hotel, but I guess I thought it was like attacking random guests, not what it actually was. So I also have just strong feelings that man just needed to go step outside. Like he just needed to breathe some fresh air because he got there and then we never saw him step outside again until the very end. Like he really just needed to go outside and breathe in that fresh snow mountain air.
And you're talking about Jack from The
Yes.
Shining, Jack Nicholson's character,
Yes.
Torrance, Jack Torrance. Yes, he needed to get some air. He didn't until it was too late when he
Yeah.
was chasing Danny in the maze.
Yeah.
It's a good flick. I've read some of the book. I have it in there on my TV stand. Just not a big reader. But the book is nothing really like the movie, at least the parts I've read. And that's why Stephen King doesn't like the movie. He's gone on record saying he doesn't like the movie because it's not. It's not like the book that parts of it I've read anyway. But I still enjoyed the movie. I mean, I saw the movie the first time years ago. I mean, way back when. And I've always liked the movie. It looks like they have a Halloween marathon going on right now. Halloween 5 was going on as I turned the TV on. And that's still one of the most satisfying kill movies I've seen as far as the dude with the convertible, the black convertible and the John Lennon glasses. Just a very douchey character, a guy that you really want to see die in an awesome way. And of course, that's the one where Michael Myers takes a rake or I think he takes a pitchfork and puts it on the the trunk lid of his car and just scrapes it across. Guy comes out, gonna hit him with a wrench or something. And then Michael Myers just sticks the pitchfork through his face, and it's just awesome. So one of the most satisfying kills you'll ever see.
No, thank you.
But it's not like gory or anything. It's not, like a Terrifier movie or anything like that. Which I've seen the first Terrifier. That's enough for me. Terrifier fans, you can like whatever you want to like. That's a bit much for even me. And I'm a big fan of the horror genre.
Yeah.
So
I think I got through 2 minutes of the first one and I was done.
you got through because you and I were going to watch the first Terrifier movie. I didn't know how bad it was. I had no idea. But the opening scene, the opening violent scene, you covered your eyes and you were like, nope, nope, no.
Yeah.
And so we turned it off and watched something else. But then I watched it with a friend of mine who likes that kind of stuff. Well, not that kind of stuff. We didn't know we were getting into really, but she is a horror fan, and so she watched it with me. And yeah, she was eyes covered for a large chunk of it. And she hates clowns too, so she had like heavy breathing on top of that. I was kind of like I was like fascinated to an extent of like, wow, they're really going there and they're really showing this. But it wasn't enjoyable. I didn't walk away from it saying, I gotta know what happens next. I gotta see too. I was like, that's enough for me. I'm good on that. But it's the third is I mean, it's a very successful franchise, I believe. I mean, their fans are their fans and they enjoy it. So,
Yeah,
okay. I mean, you do you.
it's true.
But Halloween is my favorite holiday. It edges Christmas. Christmas was my favorite as a kid, but as you grow older, the cool thing about October, the entire month of October, AMC is just always has a fear fest thing going on, some type of horror movie going on. I've still never seen Friday. I never really got into like the Friday the 13th Nightmare on Elm Street movies. So I'd never seen Friday the 13th and it's like from start to finish. I always saw it in like parts
Mhm.
and was just able to I've seen the whole movie, but never from start to finish. And I would always just catch it on TV at certain times. So I actually sat down and watched that movie from start to finish a couple of weeks ago. And the second one I'm interested in seeing just because that's like when Jason comes and just starts killing everybody.
Yeah.
Plus, it's like classic 80s stuff. Everybody's rocking like the 80s look and all that. And I don't know, it's just a retro thing to go back and look at. But those are more kind of funny to me. Just the way that they die and get hacked up. The not something that's just over the top violent and gory, like a terror or gross. Like I don't like the Saw movies just because they just gross. They just
Yeah.
want to gross you out. Um, the Friday the 13th trip me out, especially at the end when the mom is talking. You know, she's the killer. I don't know if you know anything about this. Yeah, the mom is the killer in the first one.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you don't know that till the end. But um she's talking like in Jason's like little kid voice. I'm like, kill her, mommy, kill her. And as she goes and chases after this final girl, and it just tickles me. It's funny to me.
That's
Uh so I want to watch the second one because this is where Jason comes out and he's wearing like a sack over his head or something. Um
He
that's
doesn't
another
have
one
like
I've
his
seen.
mask yet. When does he get his mask?
I don't remember when he gets the mask, but he doesn't have it in the second one. In the second one, he just has this like potato sack over his head or something.
He gets it in part three.
Okay, there you go. Because of course the hockey mask is the iconic Jason look. Of course, there's been a jillion Jason movies. I've seen Jason X, I believe, is when he's in space, and that's another one that's just really funny. And it's just fun to watch if you're just sitting around, don't have anything else to watch. Those movies to me are entertaining in that regard. But I want to watch I've seen, of course, the second just in chunks,
Mhm.
and I want to just sit down and watch it from start to finish. So that's like the one movie I've seen Halloween, the original, a bajillion times. It used to be a tradition to me for me to sit down and watch it. But last year I didn't even watch it. Like I didn't even watch the Halloween movie, and haven't this year, just because it's like I mean I know every scene. Like I want to go see some other stuff now. And a couple of years ago I did that. I watched it and was like I don't even feel anything anymore, just because I've seen it so many times. So now it's like I'm just gonna go see what else there is.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
We also watched another movie yesterday.
we did.
We watched Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. So we watched it was interesting. It was on Prime, so we didn't see it in theaters or anything like that. But if you are a big fan of the original Beetlejuice, I think that it's a good it is a good sequel. The three returning characters play them very well, and it was kind of like they jumped right back into those roles perfectly. Like there was no time between, I felt like. Did you not feel that way? You're making a face.
No, I was thinking of the three returning characters. I was like, it's Beetlejuice, Lydia Dietz, and Lydia's mom,
Hmm.
which
Yeah,
are all great characters to have return. Of course, you have to have Beetlejuice and you got to have Lydia.
yeah,
And the mom is great too, just because she's a great character and she did a great
exactly.
job in that one.
Yeah.
It was good. The bits and pieces I saw when I watched it last weekend at my brother's, because I started late and so I watched some of it, but then I would just come in and out of the room and then just bounced at the end because I was like, I want to sit down and watch the thing from start to finish. Plus, we had to get up early the next day to pace the Spooky Sprint half marathon where I got this Beetlejuice medal. Um, the parts I saw were very good parts. I was also exhausted by the time we watched it yesterday.
Yes.
I think you could see that. I
Yes.
was I was struggling to stay awake. I
Yeah.
really was. Like, it could have been a great movie and just your couch is very comfortable and it was hard. It was very hard to stay awake. I needed more caffeine or something. I don't know. Um, so I completely missed a part where the guy and I asked you, I was like, how did the guy what happened there? I won't say anything that happened.
I'm
And
gonna
then
say
you
it's
told me.
still a pretty new movie, so we don't want to give any spoilers.
Yeah, but it was a good movie. I would if you had to grade it, what would you grade it?
Oh, this makes me really sad to say. I was talking to a friend about this earlier because I love the original Beetlejuice like a lot. So I was excited for this. I'm gonna give it like a C minus because I feel like they were trying to tell too many stories and they should have focused on like one or two parts. But there were too many ongoing storylines and it just made it hard to follow. And none of the stories really worked well together. Like there was one part that I just feel like the whole movie could have happened without it. Um, like the entire movie could have happened without one character, and they made it
Which
into
scene are you talking, or what are you talking about without giving it
the very first character we meet with Danny DeVito's character.
away? It was a very anticlimactic end with that.
Yeah, I feel like it could have happened without that whole movie could have happened without that character. There was no actual point to that character.
I would just say the way that that character got handled at the end was the way I put it, anticlimactic. It was kind of a that's it, you know.
Well, that was a playback to the original because that's exactly what happened in the original. If you remember with a character, that's how that happened. So that was a playback to that.
That is true. That is how that happened. I don't know. They just stood there as it happened. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there was no struggle or anything. It just
No.
let me sit here and let this happen. Um, I would give it a C. I think C
Yeah.
minus is fair, but I would give it a solid C. It was. I had a hard time staying awake, but again, I was very tired. I was up at
Yeah.
4:30 a.m. yesterday. Um, I was planning to get up at 5, but I got up at 4:30 to go to the bathroom, and then I just at that point I knew I was about to have to get up, and it was race day, and I just couldn't come down off of whatever adrenaline rush I was about to get jolted with. So it was just really hard for me to stay awake. Um, I thought it was good, not great.
Yeah.
Um, I assume there won't be a third one. Of course, you
I,
never know.
yeah. Who knows?
If it makes enough money, they'll find a way.
It didn't stay in theaters very long. Um, so it does have that going against it, I feel like. Um, but
Well, stream
who knows what it's gonna do on streaming. It could be that it does very well streaming.
if it does well on streaming, it doesn't matter. Uh,
Exactly.
the Austin Powers movie did awful in theaters. And then the video rentals, yes, this used to be a thing, were massive.
Yeah.
And so then they got two more movies out of it that were very successful in
And
the theater.
yeah, and I don't think they should have made more of those. I'm on the fence that the first one was enough.
First and second were awesome. The third was it was too much. I thought. No, I was a big fan of the Austin Powers movies as a whole. Absolutely. I really liked the first one. You didn't?
No, I just don't it's just not my kind of humor.
I thought it was great.
You would. You would.
Okay, well, I'm gonna find time to watch football today, maybe, and some slashers. Friday the 13th part 2 is the one I want to watch between now and Halloween. And I'll try to get my half marathon for the Rhino Ultra in Wednesday, but I'll for sure getting one in. I will for sure be getting one in. I was like, oh, I said that right. Saturday, the City of College's half marathon. There's still time to sign up for that. You can find that on runsignup.com or just Google City of College's half marathon in Conway, Arkansas, for those of you that are local. I'm going to hang up my second place plaque at some point, maybe today. And I just have nails. I mean, nails will be fine, right?
Just make sure that they fit because that seemed like a really big slot. So just make sure that
Well,
it
how do you do it? Can you show us again? Okay, thanks. All right, for those of you watching on Spotify and YouTube. Okay, yeah, I will do that at some point. I mean, I use the same thing I use for my Chicago Marathon massive plaque thing. So if it worked for that, it'll work for this, I would think.
it should.
I just got to find out. I got to find where those are. I assume the toolbox. We'll see. Okay. We're rambling at this point, so I guess we'll get out of here. Okay. No, before we go, all right, fantasy football. Let's talk about that. My team has been god awful the last 2 weeks. I mean, terrible. A disaster dumpster fire. A shout out Arkansas Razorbacks, by the way, for dominating Mississippi State yesterday, and Taylon Green throwing 5 touchdown passes, running for another. Very impressive stuff from the Razorbacks in Starkville. So shout out Hogs, woo pig on that. You made a face. I'm going to find out why you made that face because your team is not doing great by any.
No,
You're
no.
projected to lose.
Yeah.
Stroud was Stroud wasn't bad. It's just Kyler Murray was very impressive today. Amari Cooper has just started, so there's still time. You've got oof.
Yeah.
The Ravens didn't show up. Ramondre Stevenson worked out on your bench, so that's a tough one. If it makes you feel any better, I griped over the phone about Cade Otton sitting here. Oh my gosh. Go look at my bench real quick.
You gave up almost 60 points.
I gave up
29.1 and 28.9.
I gave up 59 points on my bench. This is good though, because it shows, okay, I made 2 really good moves over the waiver wire.
Mm-hmm.
Because I picked those guys up Wednesday. So, and Romeo Dobbs, who got 10 points. So, I mean, I made 3 really good moves.
Yeah.
That's 70 points right there from 3 guys that I picked up this past Wednesday. It just sucks they're not starting for me. But the guy I griped about, David Njoku, he ended up with 17 points. No, that's the other guy I picked up, David Njoku. And he got 17 points for me.
Yeah.
So my team's actually doing really well. My defense didn't play well, but the 3 guys I've had play,
They're doing good.
16 points, 20.5, 17.1. But man, that's oh gosh. Wow, and Jalen Hurts ended up having a day. Gosh, tore me up. But I'm projected to win, but Patrick Mahomes has not. I mean, he's winning games, he's undefeated, but he's not been great for fantasy.
Yeah.
And he has not done what he's projected to do every week. So maybe that'll change this week. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe.
But either way, I should be fine. I'll have the Razorbacks record after today, which if you would have told me that at the start of the season, I'd have been like, it's going to be a disaster. But no, 5-3. Okay. I'm good with that. It looks like you might be as well.
Yeah, I'm a little sad, but that's okay.
You gotta pay more attention to the waiver wire. I mean, you just have to.
They
You
just
gotta pay, you gotta pay attention to who's like been injured. Do you know why I got K Dotton?
no.
Because Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, the two top wideouts for Baker Mayfield, got hurt. Chris Godwin's out for the year. Mike Evans is out for the at least the bye week. So I was like, who else is he going to throw to? That's going to be the top target. And look, 30 points are pretty close to it. So
Yeah.
you gotta pay attention to that stuff.
No, thank you.
I mean, I'm good with it. It's just more depth for me. But I mean, that is the key to winning fantasy football as a two-time league champion, two times. Depth is key because it's football. Injuries happen.
I would just like to point out that I'm number 1 in our league right now, so
Won't be after this week.
we don't
What
know.
you're about to get humbled, Michelle.
We don't know that.
We don't. It's just not looking good for
Yeah.
you.
It's not looking great, but
You need a
we'll know
very
tonight because all of my people play tonight.
you need a very strong afternoon in these afternoon games. It's
Yes.
gonna be a lot of close games.
Yeah.
Like it's not a shoe in. I'm gonna win. I'm just projected. My guys, the three guys I've had play, are just playing very well. Um, so I've got that going for me. So yes, we're a running podcast, but you got some bonus content today. I love how I think your antennas on your head have moved the entire time the show's been going on. It's just a constant moving around.
It shows the my inner anxiety because typically you can't see that I'm like constantly shaking my legs and moving underneath the desk, but the
Now
antennas
we
do
know.
definitely show that off.
Now we know.
Yeah.
It's interesting, I guess. Are you sweating yet from the costume?
Oh, it's so hot and it's itchy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't like wigs. They're not fun.
Girls that wear like extensions and like weaves and things like that. My coworker told me this. If you ever see a girl like
Yeah.
patting her head like that, her head itches.
Yeah.
So is that what you're experiencing, I guess?
Well, for me, it's like right on the edge, so like I can like scratch it, but if it was like here, you would have to because you can't feel that.
Well, you can't scratch because then you're just gonna mess the wig up.
Exactly.
Do that. All right, are you dressing up any more for Halloween? Do you have a Halloween party or anything you're attending?
No, we're having like a work thing, but our dress code does not allow for Halloween costumes. So I might bring this headband just to like put on because I have decorated my door and I'll pass out candy to students, but that's all I'll do.
Well, I won't be home till probably pretty fairly late. And when I do get home, I'm gonna go for a run Thursday. And then I'll probably shower and cook something or watch a horror flick or something. I mean, that's just that's what I'm gonna do. It's that's my Thursday routine as far as regularly minus the horror flick, but I'll squeeze that in with it being Halloween. I'm encouraged to wear something, but I'm not because that's my tough day at work. That's when all my shipments come in. So I
Yeah.
would just basically be getting dirt and crap all over my costume. So no, it's pointless. I need to be comfortable as can be.
Yeah.
So this is it, y'all. You get my hamburger costume. I'll raise up a little bit here. So you see
Nice.
the metal and you saw my tomato and think
Uh,
onion maybe. I don't
I was
know.
gonna say, and maybe onion.
Hang on. Let me see what I can do here.
Yeah, onion, tomato, lettuce. You do have cheese, burger and cheese. So you're a
On
cheeseburger.
on a sesame seed bun.
Yeah. But you don't have that extra bun.
No, it's down there.
Oh. Uh-oh. No. Oh yeah, okay.
I don't have cheese. You thought that was the cheese. That was
I
the bun.
I did think that was the cheese.
So it's just a good hamburger. It's just a good hamburger.
Yeah.
A good Whopper. Because Whoppers don't have cheese, right?
I don't know. I've never had a Whopper.
Whoppers are excellent. I don't eat them just because I don't eat fast food really. But I don't eat them, but I've had one before and they are a very good fast food burger if that's your thing.
No, never had
So
one.
don't think they have cheese. All right. I think we've done enough damage today, so I guess we'll get out of here. Um, we'll be back Sunday, I assume, and yeah, recap the City of College's half marathon and everything that's to come in our world. But until then, we got to get out of here. I'm your host, Grandpa, on this screen. Yeah, I can't talk anymore. That's Michelle Zingulis on the other. See y'all next time.
See ya.